Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to your January 2024 astrological forecast. And you know, I'm doing all signs for this month, a monthly report, and I will always do all signs for the weekly forecast. But in the future, I may only do monthly forecasts for certain signs, because these signs, it's like not just my channel, but kind of across the board. There seems to be certain zodiac signs that are just not interested in astrology or even tarot. Okay, so there you'll notice that some tarot readers even only do certain signs, and that's why, you know, if the sign isn't interested, then it's just really not worth putting up a video for them. So like I said, in the future I will probably only do certain signs for monthly, but I will always do all zodiac signs for the weekly and other things also. But anyway, so this month, the month starts off with, on the 1st, Mercury goes direct in Sagittarius. Finally! Yes! Mercury direct. Okay, so that is something to look forward to, especially having a retrograde period during busy holidays and trying to travel and all that stuff. Trying to get in touch with people, not always that easy. So if you are having problems like that, they'll start to smooth out. In fact, you may even be receiving some packages or cards or something or other this month that you should have gotten last month. Okay. On the 4th, Mars leaves Sagittarius and moves into Capricorn. On the 11th, there's a new moon in Capricorn. On the 13th, Mercury moves into Capricorn again. On the 20th, the Sun moves into Aquarius, and on the very same day, Pluto moves into Aquarius again. I will be doing a video on Pluto in all the signs. Pluto in Aquarius for all the zodiac signs, okay? On the 23rd, Venus moves into Capricorn. Up until that point, it is still in Sagittarius, moved there at the very end of December on the 29th. And then on the 25th, there's a full moon in Leo. And on the 27th, Uranus turns direct. So, thank you so much for your support, your continued support. Thank you, subscribers, and thank you so much for checking on me. I really appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, okay, and click on the notification bell, and you'll be notified each time I upload something. And also check out the links below in the description box. One is to my website, and there is another one called Ask Me a Question, which is for those of you who only want to know maybe one or two things about your chart. Okay, so now for your forecast. Hi, Capricorn, and happy birthday. Happy New Year. Happy birthday, Happy New Year. Anyway, okay, so the Sun is in your sign up until the 20th. Okay, Mercury moves into your sign again. You already had Mercury in your sign last month. Then it retrograded back into Sagittarius. Okay, now it moves into your sign again on the 13th. Mars moves into your sign on the 4th, and there's a new moon in your sign on the 11th. Okay, so you have all these planets in your first house. But before then, Mercury, still in Sagittarius, on the 1st turns direct. Okay, so it's in your 12th house. Mars is still in your 12th house just up until the 4th, until it moves into your 1st house. Okay, and Venus is in Sagittarius up until the 23rd. Then it will move into your 1st house. Okay, so you still have these planets happening in your 12th house and behind the scenes. Okay. You know, you're really active anyways, because you have the Sun in your 1st house, so you are shining. You're like beaming. Okay, people can't help but notice you. And, you know, Mercury here does make you, even since last month, okay, when it falls back into your sign, you may continue conversations that you had with people last month when Mercury, was originally in your sign. Or just find that, you know, you are contacting a lot of people, or vice versa. You have a lot of conversations going on. Could be a lot through email. It doesn't even have to be verbally, but it usually is, like when Mercury's in your first house, okay? With Venus in your 12th house, though, in Sagittarius, there could be something either creative that you're working on or some kind of relationship even that you're working on, okay? Doesn't have to be a secret. The 12th house is the house of secrets and confidences and actions by you or someone else behind the scenes, okay? And when Mercury is here, I always say it's like the great investigator or a little bit of a sleuth, you know, trying to find out either about someone or something. And when Mercury turns direct in Sagittarius in your 12th house, you may have, from that point on, some luck in this area, you know, before Mercury moves into your first house on the 13th, okay? From the 1st through the 13th, like maybe something you were trying to find out, information you needed, or just curiosity. That's when it may finally come through, okay? Even like around that new moon on the 11th in your first house, that's a new beginning of some kind. So you may have been, again, doing things behind the scenes. Some of them could have been personal even, you know, personal plans that you have that now that planets are in your first house, you're able to move forward with, especially when Mars moves into your sign, okay, on the 4th. I always call this you know, you should get a t-shirt or a mug with the phrase "out of my way" on it, or move, okay? When Mars is in your sign, it is your time to make corrections or put things the way you would like them to be. And you have to remember that you also still have Pluto in your sign. It is moving into Aquarius on the 20th, but it's been in your sign for years and years and years. And it will actually fall back into Capricorn again through like this year, okay, before it fully moves into Aquarius and leaves your sign, okay? So you're already used to kind of throwing your weight around or not putting up with a lot or being in some kind of position of power. That's what Pluto does, okay? It puts you in a position of power, though you at times feel powerless, okay? That you are at the mercy of circumstances or even people. So that does hit you at one time or other when you have this transit going on, okay? But anyway, with Mars, though, this is the me planet. Mars is the ego planet, and it won't put up with anyone or anything that's been a hindrance in some way, or just isn't the way you want it to be. You know, I always say, you know, Mars only usually transits your sign every other year because it takes about 2.5 months to get through each zodiac sign. So it only makes it through like 6 signs a year. And that usually coincides with how you have to remind the people around you just how their life would be without you in it, okay? This is one of those transits where you let people know if it wasn't for you, whatever wouldn't have happened. They'd still be sitting on the fence about something, or they would never have done this, or they would never have done that. And if it wasn't for you, this or that would have happened, blah, blah, blah. And all of that is actually true, okay? But what it is people get used to you and treating you a certain way that they really start to take you for granted. And that's what this transit is for. It's to let people know that you're here, you know, and you're someone, you know, you're a force to be reckoned with, more or less, you know. So if there is really somebody like that in your life that just really takes advantage of you, and a lot of times, the majority of times, it's family, okay? It is people, even relatives, because they've known you since you were born, you know, so they tend to keep treating you as if you're some kid, even though you're like an adult with your own family half the time, you know, but they still have that outlook when it comes to you, and it is very, very annoying. So this could be one of those times where you really set people straight, put them in their place. I'm sure it's not like a very big deal, especially like when Venus enters your sign. Mars will still be here. Venus will move here on the 23rd. These are the love planets, Venus and Mars moving together. I'm sure, you know, first of all, having Venus in your sign and your first house makes you very, very appealing. You know, people just want to be with you. They want, excuse me, you'll be on the receiving end of not just a lot of compliments, and some of them even coming from complete strangers, but gifts of some kind, or favors, or people want to take you out for lunch or drinks or dinner or something or other. Okay, a lot of these, they could be like belated birthday gifts or belated holiday gifts or something, you know, but that could be the excuse, you know. But it would still happen either way. When you have Venus in your first house, okay, or your own zodiac sign or your 10th house, people like just, you know, find you far more appealing than at any other time. Use Mars to, first of all, you'll have a ton of energy. It's a very energetic planet, okay, and it's best to use that energy for yourself, for your own plans, your own projects, you know. Sometimes Mars doesn't work well with others, you know, because they have to give up their own time to help build someone else's career or build their life. And what the hell's that all about, right? You're supposed to be doing that for yourself, and you're not in the mood right now to share with others. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It's best to occupy yourself with things that are personally important to you. Okay, so around that new moon on the 11th, you could begin some kind of new project or new way of doing something, or just new period. You know, you have a fresh outlook on life, and a new moon, no matter, you know, every sign has a new moon and a full moon, but the new moon is your personal new year. This is when your year begins. Okay, so it's even if you can't get out to do anything, you know, at least write something down, you know, a list of plans or whatever, you know, but that's your new beginning. Okay, so the sun moves into Aquarius on the 20th, along with Pluto on the 20th, in your second house of earned income and possessions, but this is how you earn your money. It will be changing, you know. I mean, Pluto's already visited here briefly, so you may have had an indication of how things may go in this area. This is any kind of investment that you make, you know, but having, you know, Saturn was just here, so it kind of helped to give you an idea. Both Pluto and Saturn are planets of endings. Saturn makes corrections. Pluto just alters you in some way or other. So however it is that you earn a living may be changed in some way or other. Okay, second house is also the house of your valuables, your possessions, but it's also your personal values that you have, and also your feeling or your feelings of self-worth. Okay, when Saturn was here, when it was in Aquarius, just briefly, recently rather, you know, had to make a lot of corrections there with the way people treat you, you know, and again, usually it's family or people that know you really well. Okay, your feeling of self-worth, people made you feel like you weren't worth anything sometimes. And again, like I said, it is usually family that pulls crap like that on you. Having Pluto here, it's the same thing, but it is a powerful planet. The word power is associated with Pluto. Okay, but just keep in mind, the way you earn a living, or the way, if you don't work at all, but you have to have some kind of income coming in, this is going to change. Okay, you know, this planet won't move into Aquarius fully till I forget what date. One of these days I'm going to look before I sit down here. Okay, anyway, like the end of the year or something like that. So it's going to move back into your first house again anyway. and then it will finally move into Aquarius. Second house, though, is also hidden talents. Okay, so if you do something, even just as a hobby, that it could even be something that you did like when you were in high school or something or other, you know, but you were good at. This is something that could come to the surface now and be used as a way of earning a living, even if it's just a side venture, you know, but you are changing the way how money comes to you, okay? With the sun here, you know, money is highlighted. This could be the time of year, if you do work for someone else, where that's a discussion, you know, money, your wages, you know, not necessarily a raise, but something starts at this time of year every year for you as far as employment goes. Even if you're self-employed or, again, don't work at all, okay? There is a full moon on the 25th in Leo in your 8th house. It is directly across from your 2nd house of Aquarius. And 8th house is other people's money and resources. It's also the house of passive money, institutions of any kind. This is the IRS or a bank or a credit card company. It's also the house of insurance or receiving an insurance payout or legal settlement payout. Refund, tax refund, or increase in credit, or something or other. So there could just be something going on where if you do work for someone else, you want better benefits. You may have, you know, discovered that the insurance that you've been paying for, you're not even covered for this or that, or it was crap insurance, and you know, you used it, health insurance, okay, we'll say health insurance, and you used it and you found out they didn't even cover half that stuff that you know, you had done, and you wouldn't have even had like all these tests done if you didn't know it wasn't covered, right? Something like that. It could be something like that. Or you could discover credit card company charging you for something or other, or reoccurring charge on something that you know, did away with how long ago, but they just keep charging you, okay? So it's just something like that. It's not, I don't think it's a very big deal, actually. On the 27th, Uranus in Taurus in your, let's see here, 5th house turns direct, okay? It won't affect you right away. It's happening at the end of the month, and even after that, it does take a while for a slower moving planet like Uranus to really kick in there. But it's a start. It's moving forward in your 5th house of fun, romance, creativity, gambling, and children. Okay, so it's a fun house to have that planet in the even. Okay, so the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Capricorn on the 10th and 11th. And the best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Cancer, and those dates are the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling, or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 5th, 6th, 7th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. The best time for money is the 12th, 13th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. The best time for your career is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 30th, and 31st. And the best time for communication and travel is the 14th, 15th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. So happy birthday again, and Happy New Year. And don't forget to check out my weekly forecast. Okay, I'll see you then. Goodbye.